Hi guys, so today's video is giving you an update on how my project pan is doing. Like I said in the very first video, I was a little late getting those started this year, but I'm also now behind in kind of giving you my first report out because I keep prioritizing other videos in ahead of this one. I have picked 19 products and then I also rolled over 4 from last year that I want to continue to use up. So I did want to say up front before we talk about any of the products, one of the things that I made a major oopsie on this last time was not doing product close-up shots. I swear I did them. I cannot find the footage for the life of me. So what I typically like to do is show you, here's what the product looked like at my last check-in, or my first check-in, I guess it would be in this case, and here's what it looks like now. I have filmed close-up shots of all of these products, so for my next check-in, you will have a much better visual representation of the progress that I have made. We'll make do this video, it's all we can do. But one of the things I did do also was weigh a few products that I knew I wasn't going to be able to see visibly how much I'm working through. One of them is a primer. So this is from Rimmel. This is their Fix and Perfect primer base. It's kind of a thicker, lotiony, smoothing kind of primer. There is 1 fluid ounce of product in here. Now I'm weighing these on a digital scale, but obviously I'm weighing the packaging as well. So when I first weighed this product, it weighed 1.5 fluid ounces. I just reweighed it. It's now 1.2 ounces. So that means I've used up 0.3 fluid ounces of product between the start of the year and now. Given that there's only an ounce of product in here, that actually means I've used up 30% of this product. So I'm kind of pleased with that. I feel like even though you can't see the progress, using up 30% of the product, still feel like I'm on track to use this guy up. The next product is another primer type product. It's the Glow Enhancer from L'Oreal. It's their Lumi Glotion in the lightest shade, Fair Glow. This product has 1.35 fluid ounces of product in here. The weight of the product plus the packaging at the beginning of the year was actually 1.8. I just weighed this and I'm at 1.5, so that means I've used up 0.3 ounces of this product also, but because there was more product in here to start with, I've only used up 22% of this product versus the 30% of this one. So definitely see myself getting through this, but with a lot more product inside of it. I definitely need to make a concerted effort to be using this on a regular basis, and I like this product, so that's not a difficult thing for me to want to do. In terms of foundations, I had a couple. One is this Missha Perfect BB Cream. This guy has 1.7 ounces of product in here. The weight of the product, because you've got this heavy pump, is actually 2.4. That was its starting weight. I just reweighed it and it was at 2.2, so it's only gone down 0.2 ounces or 12% of its overall amount of product. So definitely needed to focus in on this one. I will admit I was using some other products over this guy, and we'll talk about that here in a minute, but I feel like this one is one that I will have no problem getting through because I really do enjoy it. I also had pulled in this Maybelline Dream Cushion. This only had 0.51 ounces of product in it. Its weight when I first weighed it was 1.8. Now it still weighs 1.8. And I'm struggling a little bit because I feel like this product is looking super dry. Like there's not that much product left in here. It does feel a lot drier. Like if I was going to say how much more time I have with this, knowing that I don't wear it every single day, I would say in the next month or 2, this is probably done. But right now, even though I've used this quite a bit, it would indicate that I hadn't used anything. And I feel like that is strange because I feel like there's a lot less product in here now than there was when I started. I also had a stick foundation. So this is from Lancome. This is their Teint Idole stick foundation. I have used this. I feel like this is going to be one that's kind of hard to compare apples to apples and get a screenshot next to it. Hopefully I can do that for you guys, but I feel like I have been using this, but not a ton because, and at the risk of jumping around a little bit, one of the items that I rolled over from last year that I wanted to use up was the Makeup Forever stick foundations. So this doesn't count as part of my 19, but it is a product that I'm trying to use up. I got down to like the barest amount left, but I have to be honest, the smell has gone off. Like it smells kind of gross right now. Like it smells like it's spoiled, it kind of smells like spoiled food. And so even though I feel like I've got probably a few more applications of product out of this, I'm going to go ahead and count this one as just done. Given its scent, I no longer feel comfortable putting it on my face because I do feel like it has spoiled and gone off. But I was actively using that until the scent sort of came into play. And so I've just recently turned my sights now away from that one and to this Lancome stick. So I'm hoping to make a lot more progress on this stick foundation before my next check-in. I also had a Laneige concealer. So this is their cushion concealer. I didn't do a great job of capturing the little window here that first go round. I do feel like I've been using this. I need to probably make a concerted effort to use more of this. But I kind of stumbled a little bit with using this a ton because I was testing so many drugstore concealers at the first part of the year. If you guys saw my drugstore face roundup series, you will realize like I think I tested like 8 or 9 different drugstore concealers, and that takes a lot of time, right? Because I'm not just doing it once. And so this little baby, I feel like I've used it, but it's been a little neglected, and this next several months I really need to spend some quality time using this guy up. But at the risk of jumping around again, a product that I had pulled forward from last year that I wanted to use up that was in Project Pan last year was this little Milani Retouch and Erased Light Lifting Concealer. I can't squeeze, even though the tube looks like it's full, I can't get anything else to squeeze out of there. It just has this coating. Well, I guess you can kind of see some of the clear tube showing through. It looks like there's just a coating that's making it hard to show that it's empty, but I can't get any more to squeeze out of this when I squeeze. So I feel like I can count this guy as done. So that is awesome. And then the powder that I picked for this year is from MAC. It is the Mineralize Skinfinish Light. It is a really nice powder. It's really pretty and glowy. I have to be honest, I haven't been using a ton of powder lately. Found a lot of the foundations that I've been trying and playing around with didn't even need a powder to set it. And if I don't have to use a powder to set my foundation, I won't. But I also know that this BB cream definitely needs to be set with powder. So as I start to use this a little bit more, I'm going to be reaching into this powder more and more. I couldn't tell between looking at the photo or looking at this now and looking at my first check-in really much of a difference. I'm hoping I capture good enough close-ups so that for my next check-in, there's maybe a noticeable difference or a divot in this powder. So for the rest of my face products, I have both a cream and a powder option. So let's talk about the powder options first. I rolled over my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, and I am counting this one as one of my 19 because I just felt like at the end of last year, I hadn't even hit pan on it, and I really enjoyed it, and like I want to use it up. Like I really would like to use up a bronzer. And so I went ahead and made the decision to have my powder bronzer for this year be the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. And guys, we have pan. Thank goodness. I honestly felt like this moment was never going to come, and it's actually a pretty decent sized pan, so I'm super happy about that. So what it proves is that there was less product towards the middle than I realized, because I hit pan probably after about a month of it being in my collection. So I'm going to continue to use this, see how big I can get that pan by the end of the year, but hallelujah, we finally have pan on a butter bronzer. For my blush, I chose the Maybelline Fit Me blush in Nude. It's a really pretty blush. It's a little more pinky than Nude, to be honest. I don't know if I would consider this a nude blush. I really feel like it's more of a rosy blush. Has a really nice satin sheen to it. It definitely showing some wear and tear right now, but I definitely don't have any pan to report on here. But I have reached for this quite a lot, and I have really enjoyed it. And then similar story to report on my highlighter. I have the Benefit Dandelion Twinkle highlighter. I definitely feel like I can see quite a lot of scraping and scuffing along the top of this, but I don't feel like I am anywhere near hitting pan. And I do actually use quite a bit of this product. Like I put some down and I tend to build it up a little bit. So I feel like getting through this to hit pan is definitely doable. I just don't think I'm there yet. In terms of cream products, I am using my Wet n Wild Mega Cushion for my bronzer in Cafe Au Soleil. I still feel like this is pretty juicy, and I really can tell a difference in how juicy this guy is when I compare it against a rollover product we'll talk about here in a little bit, which is the highlighter. So I feel like at this point, I still have a ways to go on this bronzer. For cream blush, I do feel like you can see a remarkable difference in this one. This is from Colourpop. Super Shock Cheek. Between the Sheets is the shade. This one has got a pretty healthy sized divot in there. I've been using this both with my finger and with a brush. I actually think it works great either way. Oh, I do want to jump back to this cushion bronzer because I did actually weigh this, but what's interesting is there is 0.24 ounces of product in here. The weight of this in January was 1.1 ounces, so obviously a lot of packaging is weighing this down. When I weighed it, it weighed 1.0, so it's only going down 0.1 ounces, but when you only have 0.24 to start with, that's actually 42% of the product is gone. This tells me that I probably can get through this in probably the next half of the year. I will probably by my next check-in, we may be struggling to get a whole lot of product out of here because I only have what I've used up already this year is pretty much what I have left in here to use up. And then in terms of highlighter, I have this little duo. This is the Almay Instant Glow Highlighting Duo. Has a cream on one side and then a highlighting stick on the other. I have used this many times, but I feel like I'm not seeing a ton of progress on here, and it could just be that this little stick is a little stiffer. I can really use the stick and just go whoop once, blend it out with my finger, and I don't need to go back in. So I can see myself using up this side with the liquid a lot faster than this end here. We'll see how that flushes out as the year goes on. So for my brows, I have a Maybelline Total Temptation Brow Definer in Soft Brown. I have been using this a lot. I really enjoy it, and I don't feel like I have much left. I am actually really liking this one. I will be sad to see it go, but not cruelty free, so would like to go ahead and use it up. Another one that's going to be really tough for me to do check-ins on is my eyeliner that I picked. So this is Makeup Forever. This is their artist liner. This is the retired brand. They now do an aqua gel, if I remember correctly. So this is a little bit of an older pencil, so I wanted to use it up before it dried out on me. The problem is, although it is retractable, you can't actually retract down. You can only go up. So I don't know how much product is left in here. It's just going to be that magic pencil that is just hopefully gone at some point, and I'm like, oh, I've used it up. So I have a liner that I'm trying to use up from Rimmel. This is the shade East End Snob. It is a pink shade. I do feel like that I have used this quite a bit. I mean, there's a decent amount left in here, but I feel like this is one that I've used many times, not only as a liner, but to actually fill in my entire lips and then go over the top with a gloss. So I don't see any issues using this guy up by the end of the year. And then I also picked a tinted balm from Revlon. This is their Kiss Balm, and this is the shade Juicy Peach. This I've used the heck out of. I have used this so many days where I've just been at home and I haven't felt like using a lip gloss or any other lip product. It's just a nice sheer peach balm. It smells really yummy. Definitely feel like I have used up quite a bit of this, so I don't anticipate this being a product that I will struggle to get through either. The other product I've actually really enjoyed reaching for is from Neutrogena. This is their Hydro Boost Hydrating Lip Shine. I have the shade 20, which is berry brown. It's a really nice pinky brown neutral shade. It's pigmented enough that I can wear it on its own, but it also layers over top of things really well. I've layered it over the top of this East End Snob lipstick or lip liner, and also a lipstick we're going to talk about here in a minute, and then obviously worn it on its own as well. I can't really tell at this point. I've tried letting it sit to see if it will show me how much I've used up. At this point, I honestly can't tell. In terms of my lipstick choice, I chose the shade Warm Me Up from Maybelline. This has definitely gotten some love, but I don't feel like it's showing a whole lot of wear either. I continue to have that problem where I put the lipstick, just like last year, I put the lipstick in my purse and then I forget to pull it out when I get home, and so I take it with me for touch-ups when I wear it that day, and then I forget to bring it upstairs, and so then as I'm getting ready, I'm just reaching for something else that's right by me versus going back and grabbing this and putting it back in my makeup drawer here, or the little clear drawers where I keep my use it up makeup. So that is my 19 for this year. Two products that I haven't talked about. We've already talked about two that were rollover products that I've used up this Makeup Forever stick foundation, and then the Milani one. So that was 2 of the 5 that I rolled over. So let's talk about the other 3 products that I rolled over and how I'm doing on those. One is the Milani Prep Set and Glow powder. I've continued to use this. I feel like I'm about to go to the very outer rim here very shortly. There's not a ton of product left in here. We're getting to the point now where I can get a small brush in here, and I've used this to set under my eyes before. It's not my favorite powder, but it works. And I've done that quite a few times with a smaller brush because I feel like I can get this outside area better. I kind of feel like by my next check-in, I'm going to be ready to just call this one because I'm having a hard time loading product on a brush evenly. I don't feel this burning desire to have absolutely zero product left in a pan. If it's not easy to apply, if it's not loading a brush, if it's causing me issues during the application process just because of how little product is left and my inability to get a brush loaded appropriately, I'm just gonna call it. I know there's a lot of people that aren't satisfied until there's absolutely zero product left in there, and kudos to you to keep going and powering through it. But for me, I am comfortable saying, yes, I've loved and used up this product to the extent that I've wanted. I think I can still use it in its current form for a little while longer, but it's pretty close. So one that I am going to call done on is this Wet n Wild Mega Cushion Highlighter. This was part of last year's, and I did use this guy up. I have flipped the sponge a zillion times. I have looked in the crevices for extra product, even with my finger to tap it on. It's toast. I can't get any more out of it. So we're going to count this one as completed. So that's exciting. And then the other one that's still kind of got a little bit of product left in it is French Tickler, which is the gloss from Marc Jacobs that I had last year. I'm scraping the sides of this now when I'm using it. So I'm kind of having to like twist the wand to get product out. But when I do that, I'm still getting product out. So we're going to continue to use this guy, but I'm guessing by my next check-in, this is probably going to be in my done category. So I do feel like rolling those 5 products in that I had almost finished up last year. I feel like keeping them in here and using them up was a good strategic decision, and I'm really happy with the progress that I've made, especially on those 5 products that rolled over from last year. All right, guys, so that wraps us up for my first Project Pan check-in. I'm going to do a better job of coming back in probably about 3 months and giving you guys an update on these products, so not so much time passes in between updates here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video series. If you guys are doing a panning project this year, would love to hear from you down in the comments on how it's going. Hope you guys are having an amazing week. Talk to you soon.